Archangel Michael has come forth with a message of divine protection that resounds deeply in our hearts today. He tells us that in moments when life feels heavy, when darkness seems to overtake the light, there is an undeniable assurance that God's hand is stretched out to guard us. There may be times when the enemy works tirelessly to plot against us, seeking to sow discord and fear, but let this truth echo in your soul that God will protect you. Even when the plans of those who wish to harm you take shape, and their voices whisper lies, the presence of God remains your fortress. His divine intervention is unshakable, and His protection is unparalleled, through the chaos and confusion. Through the storms and trials, He remains the pillar of strength you can lean on. You are never alone, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. At the very core of this message lies the promise of safety. Every step you take, every battle you fight, God walks alongside you, His protective arms ever around you. When enemies surround you, when trouble seems relentless, it is in those very moments that you must remember a God is your shield. His love surrounds you like a fortress, and no evil force can pierce through it. You may not always see it or understand it, but the invisible hands of protection are working on your behalf. Sometimes the threats that you think are looming are nothing more than illusions meant to dishearten you. Remember, God has already seen the end from the beginning. The enemy's plans are already known to him, and he has already made provisions to protect you. Archangel Michael says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." With these words, let us understand that even in the most difficult of situations, divine strength is with you. The very power of the Almighty will be your safeguard, empowering you to rise above every scheme and attack that is set against you. The battles you face are not yours alone to fight. The Lord, through His heavenly armies, is with you. His power transcends all earthly forces. And it is in His strength that you find victory. Do not let the fear of being outnumbered or overpowered cloud your mind. You are on the winning side because God is your ally, and no power can defeat the Creator. No matter what you may be going through right now, the victory is assured. The enemy may plot against you, but God's promise of victory remains unshaken. Every weapon forged against you will be rendered powerless by the power of the Almighty. Do not look at the size of the challenge instead, look at the greatness of your God. He is more than enough to deliver you from any circumstance. His protection is not limited to the physical realm. He guards your heart, your mind, your spirit, and every area of your life. There is no place where His reach cannot extend. You are His child, and He watches over you with a deep love that will never falter. Archangel Michael, with his heavenly army, is always at the ready, standing guard over you, ensuring that no harm comes your way. The struggles you face may feel isolating, and at times, you might wonder if anyone truly understands the weight of what you are going through. But know this, God sees you. He knows every fear, every hurt, every thought. His divine sight pierces through the deepest corners of your being, and His heart is moved by your suffering. You are not abandoned. Archangel Michael stands beside you, ready to fight for you. With the angels of heaven encamped around you, you have a force of protection that goes beyond human understanding. Even when the road ahead seems unclear, you can trust in the unseen forces working in your favor. The light of God shines in the darkest places, and no evil can overwhelm that light. Let your heart rest in the assurance that divine protection is upon you. As you embrace this message, let the peace of God flood your heart. His protection is not just physical, it is emotional, spiritual, and mental. God's peace surpasses all understanding. It guards your heart and mind in times of trouble, offering you rest and calm amidst the storm. When the world around you is full of uncertainty, you can find tranquility in His presence. Remember that your enemy cannot outwit God's plan for you. He may try to sow seeds of fear, doubt, and confusion, but God's plan for your life is one of peace, hope, and a future filled with blessings. Trust in His perfect timing and His infinite wisdom. You may not always understand the why behind the trials, but trust that He is orchestrating every detail for your good. Archangel Michael reminds us that no matter how dark the moment may seem, God's light will always break through. The attacks that come against you are only temporary, but the protection of God is eternal. His divine intervention is constant, unchanging, and always available to those who call upon His name. Your prayer is your weapon, and as you declare His protection over your life, His angels move on your behalf. The enemy may want you to believe that you are out of options, that there is no escape, that you are powerless, but God has given you authority. The enemy cannot steal your peace unless you allow it. Do not let the fear and worry of potential attacks hold you back. Know that your victory is secured by the Creator of the heavens and the earth. As you stand in this moment of divine assurance, repeat these words with faith and conviction, Amen. By declaring this, you are affirming your belief in God's protection, His strength, and His intervention on your behalf. The blessings of safety, peace, and victory are yours in abundance. His angels have been dispatched to stand guard over you, and no harm can come near you. In this moment, let your heart be filled with gratitude. Thank God for His relentless love, for His constant care, and for His eternal protection. With every breath, know that He is with you, holding you, guarding you, and guiding you. The enemy cannot break what God has fortified, and His protection will carry you through every trial. Archangel Michael, in his heavenly authority, reminds you that you are victorious. You are covered by the most powerful protection imaginably, the protection of God Himself. No enemy, no attack, no plot against you will ever succeed because you are shielded by the love and power of your Creator. Stand firm in the knowledge that God is fighting for you. Every step you take, every decision you make, is guided by His hand. His protection is a shield around your life, and it will never waver. Even in moments when you can't see the way forward, trust that God has already cleared the path for you. He goes before you and makes the crooked places straight. The protection of God is not just a momentary shield but an everlasting guarantee. With every breath, you are victorious. Amen. Let this declaration be an anchor for your soul, as you continue to walk in the light of God's protection. His divine love shields you from the plots of the enemy, and His eternal presence covers you in every moment. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, for God is with you, and with Him, you are more than a conqueror. So, stand firm in your faith, stand firm in the knowledge that God is on your side. He is your refuge and your fortress, and no enemy can overtake you. His protection is certain, and your victory is assured. Keep pressing forward with confidence, knowing that the Creator of the universe is your defender. Archangel Michael says, "Fear not, for the Lord is with you, and no plan formed against you shall prosper." In the midst of the challenges you face, there is a message from heaven to strengthen your spirit. When you feel the weight of life's difficulties or the sting of betrayal, remember that God sees all, knows all, and His protection remains steadfast. A dark plan may have been set in motion against you, but God has a response, and it is one of overwhelming power and deliverance. God, in His eternal wisdom and unmatched might, is never caught off guard. While the enemy may plot in the shadows, your God is the Creator of all light. No matter how cunning or how carefully constructed the enemy's plans may be, they will falter and fail in the presence of the divine power that watches over you. Heaven's message is clearer: there is no scheme, no plot, no dark force that can stand against the will of God for your life. Archangel Michael speaks again, "Know this. The battle is not yours, but the Lord's. Do not fear, for I have been dispatched to guard you, to fight on your behalf, and to protect you from all harm." Even when the enemy seeks to cloud your vision and disrupt your peace, God's response is clear. He has already dispatched His angels to surround you, to stand as sentinels, and to thwart every attempt made against you. The plans made by the enemy, whether seen or unseen, are ineffective against the divine strategies of God. His purpose for you is greater than anything the enemy can orchestrate. God has already declared your victory, and the enemy's plans are nothing but empty threats in the face of God's sovereign will. As dark forces try to move in the shadows, God's light breaks through, revealing the path He has laid out for you. When you feel surrounded, remember that the response from heaven is one of invincible protection. God promises to shield you from harm, to cover you with His wings of safety, and to ensure that no weapon formed against you will succeed. Though the enemy may try to sow confusion and create chaos, the Lord's power silences the noise of those who wish to see you fall. It is in these moments that you must remember who you are and whose you are. You are a child of the Most High, protected by His strength and upheld by His righteous right hand. Archangel Michael is ever at your side, ensuring that the dark plans of the enemy cannot take root in your life. You are safe, secure, and surrounded by the love of God, which never fails. Even before the enemy launches their attack, God has already established your victory. The enemy may try to weave their plans, but they will not succeed because your destiny is in the hands of an all-powerful God. You are not alone in this fight. Heaven is with you, and no dark force can stand against the divine authority that is on your side. Victory is not just a possibility for you, it is an assurance. It doesn't matter how dark the path may seem at times, because the light of God will always shine brighter. Your future is secured, your protection is guaranteed, and no matter the schemes or strategies of the enemy, they are nothing in the face of heaven's response. God is already at work, and He is making a way where there seems to be no way. When the enemy plans against you, remember that heaven has a response that far exceeds anything the enemy can create. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows the end from the beginning. No attempt by the enemy will go unnoticed or unchallenged. He sees it all, and His response is one of intervention, rescue, and deliverance. Archangel Michael says, I have been sent to defend you, to carry you when you cannot carry yourself, and to ensure that you are never overtaken by the enemy's schemes. The response of heaven is already in motion, and there is no weapon, no plot, no attack that can succeed. Rest assured that no matter what you face, heaven's answer is always more powerful than any challenge. You are under divine protection, and your victory is assured. Heaven's response is not just a promise but a guarantee. When life's battles seem insurmountable, when you feel weighed down by the world's troubles, you must remember that God's help is already on the way. The angels of heaven are constantly working on your behalf, ensuring that every dark plan is intercepted before it can affect you. Trust that God's protection is constant, unyielding, and far greater than any opposition you may encounter. Even when you cannot see the full picture, trust in God's sovereignty. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. No situation is beyond His ability to change. The enemy may think they have gained the upper hand, but God is always steps ahead. Heaven's response is already in motion, and nothing can stop the divine help that is coming your way. The enemy may plot against you, but God has already established a plan for your life that is full of peace, hope, and future glory. His plans are good, and they will prevail over every scheme the enemy tries to implement. Rest in the security of knowing that you are protected, loved, and cared for by the Creator of the universe. In every season of life, God's plan for you remains steadfast and unchanging. No matter the turbulence, no matter the storms, His protection never waves us. As you face these challenges, lean on the truth that God has already responded to every dark plan made against you. He has already provided a way of escape, a path of victory, and a shield of safety that cannot be broken. As you reflect on the message from heaven, take a moment to declare these words with your heart, Amen. By speaking this word of agreement, you affirm that heaven's response is at work in your life. The blessings of protection, peace, and victory are already yours. God's response to every dark plan is one of deliverance, and by declaring Amen, you align yourself with the divine response that is already on its way. The enemy cannot prevail against the power of heaven. When heaven responds, the enemy's plans crumble to dust. No matter how carefully plotted the attack, God's response is always one of victory and restoration. With every attack that comes against you, God responds by strengthening you, by shielding you, and by ensuring that you emerge victorious. This is the promise of heaven. God is not just aware of your struggles, He is actively engaged in defeating the forces that wish to harm you. Every plan made against you has been already overruled by the divine authority of heaven. Archangel Michael, with his heavenly army, stands at attention, ready to protect and defend you from all harm. The victory is yours, not because of anything you have done, but because of God's unyielding love and faithfulness. You do not need to fear, for God has responded to every attack. Heaven's plan for your life is far greater than anything the enemy can conjure up. Trust in God's perfect timing, in His powerful protection, and in His eternal love. No plan made against you can succeed, because God's response is one of overwhelming power, grace, and deliverance. As you walk through life, remember that you are never alone. Heaven is always by your side, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. God's divine response to every dark plot is one of peace, safety, and victory. Trust in His protection. And know that He is always working on your behalf. To affirm God's divine protection and to receive His blessings, declare, Amen. By speaking this, you release the power of God's response into your life, securing His protection, victory, and guidance. Heaven's response has already been set in motion, and you are safe, secure, and covered under God's mighty hand. You are victorious, you are protected, and you are loved. Keep moving forward in faith, knowing that heaven has already responded to every dark plan made against you. The victory is yours, and it is sealed by the promises of God. Archangel Michael says, I have been sent by God to deliver this message to you, and do not fear. The enemy may be plotting against you, but the power of heaven stands ready to defend you. In times when you feel vulnerable, when the forces around you seem intent on bringing you harm, remember that God has a divine alert over your life. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, because the battle is not yours to fight. Heaven is on your side, and God is fighting for you. At times, the road ahead may seem uncertain, and the attacks may feel relentless. But in the midst of the storm, it is crucial to remember that you are not alone. God's protective hand is always on you, and He has already prepared a response to every attempt made against you. Though the enemy may plot and plan, God's divine intervention is far greater, and He will fight your battles for you. Even when it seems as though the odds are stacked against you, take comfort in this trouble. God is fighting for you. Archangel Michael stands by your side, wielding the sword of protection, prepared to shield you from all harm. There is no force on earth or in the spiritual realm that can overpower God's might. His angels have been dispatched to intervene, to dismantle every plan set against you, and to ensure that no weapon formed against you can succeed. The adversary may use dissection, manipulation, or even direct attacks, but none of these tactics can stand against the righteousness of God. You are under divine protection, and the forces of heaven are actively engaged in safeguarding your life. Do not give in to fear or anxiety, for God has already prepared the victory in advance. His power is limitless, and His presence is ever near. Heaven's protection is not just a passive promise, it is active and vigilant. As you walk through life, you are constantly surrounded by the divine forces of heaven, ready to defend you from any harm that may arise. Archangel Michael, along with the heavenly host, is stationed around you, watching over you and ensuring that nothing can touch you without God's permission. In moments when you feel exposed or vulnerable, remember that the Creator of the universe is your protector. The enemy cannot breach the walls God has placed around you. Trust that every attack that comes your way is being met with a swift and powerful response from heaven. The enemy may think they have the upper hand, but in reality, they are already defeated before they can even strike. Archangel Michael reminds you again, God is with you, and no evil will come near your dwelling place. The forces of darkness may try, but they will never prevail. In moments of trial and attack, God's intervention is already in motion. The enemy may attempt to derail your plans, cause you pain, or sow confusion, but God's hand is upon your life, and His will shall be done. Every attempt to harm you is already being countered by divine forces. The enemy cannot outwit God. His wisdom far surpasses any of the enemy's strategies. You are in the midst of a battle, but you are fighting from a position of victory because God is already on your side. His plan for you cannot be thwarted, and His protection is absolute. When the enemy seeks to harm you, you do not need to fight in your own strength. God is fighting for you, and He is more than enough to defeat every adversary. The enemy may come at you with everything they have, but they will never have the power to defeat you because you are shielded by God's protection. Rest in this truth, or your safety is not dependent on your own ability, but on the infinite strength of God. There is no force in the heavens or on earth that can stand against the power of God's defense. His mighty hand covers you, and His angels are constantly watching over you. With each attack that comes, you can be assured that heaven is already at work to thwart it, and you will emerge victorious. God's protection never fails, and He will never allow harm to come to you without a response. Your victory is not in question. Even in moments of difficulty or when the odds seem overwhelming, you can stand firm in the knowledge that God has already secured your triumph. The plans of the enemy cannot succeed because God's hand is upon your life. With every attack, God's response is already in motion. And the enemy will not succeed in their efforts to harm you. Victory is not something you must wait for, it is already yours. As you face challenges, remember that the outcome is already sealed by God. His divine response to every attack is one of protection, power, and victory. You are an overcomer, and no force can stand against you because of the divine power that surrounds you. God is not just a distant protector, He is actively engaged in your life, working behind the scenes, orchestrating events, and fighting battles on your behalf. Archangel Michael stands at the ready, wielding the sword of justice and wielding the power of heaven to keep you safe. There is no situation too difficult for God to handle. His power is your strength, and He will never leave you or forsake you. Every enemy that seeks to harm you is already defeated by the strength of God. His divine power is more than sufficient to guard and protect you. Trust in God's intervention, for He is more than capable of defending you from every threat, both seen and unseen. Your trust in Him is the key to receiving the fullness of His protection. In this moment of divine assurance, take a moment to declare your belief in God's protection by saying Amen. This simple word affirms your trust in the truth that God is fighting for you, that His angels are guarding you, and that no weapon formed against you will succeed. By declaring Amen, you are aligning yourself with the power and protection of heaven, receiving the full blessing of divine defense. As you declare this, know that the strength of heaven is now actively at work on your behalf. The blessing of protection is now yours, and no attack will succeed. Your victory is certain, and you will walk in peace knowing that God's power is your shield. Trust in the certainty of God's protection, and rest in the assurance that He is actively defending you from harm. The message from heaven is clear: God is fighting for you. No matter what plans the enemy tries to execute, God's response is already in place, and His defense is unshakable. His angels are on guard, His power is at work. And no harm will come to you that God will not address. Trust in the invincible strength of God's protection, and know that the battle is not yours, but His. In times when the road feels uncertain, when the attacks feel unrelenting, let your faith be steadfast. God's intervention is guaranteed, and He will fight for you with a power that is unmatched by anything the enemy can produce. His hand is upon you, and His protection is the covering that will keep you safe from all harm. God is not only aware of the plans of the enemy, He has already orchestrated the counterattack. Your safety and your victory are not at the mercy of human circumstances but are secured by the Almighty. Every plot made against you is already overruled by God's divine will. His protection is more than a passive shield, though it is an active force that keeps you safe, secure, and victorious in every situation. When you are faced with challenges, take heart and know that God's divine defense is always at work. His angels are surrounding you, His wisdom is guiding you, and His power is keeping you safe. Trust in this truth, for you are never alone, and God is fighting for you every step of the way. As you declare Amen, you affirm that you are under the protection of God, His angels are positioned around you, and His strength is your defense. Every enemy is already defeated, and no harm can come near you. You are victorious, protected, and loved by the Almighty. And His divine alert over your life ensures that you will walk in peace and safety.